Conservative media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion and the MMA expert. Okay, I'm ready to do it. My prediction of UFC 145, who's going to win between Jon Jones and Rashad Evans. I've been going back and forth on this whole situation. Been thinking about a lot of things, been looking at this angle, looking at that angle. And I had a gut feeling at the beginning when I first started looking at this matchup that Rashad Evans was going to win, and I'm going with that. I feel better than ever that Rashad is going to win. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm not saying that, you know, that Jon Jones couldn't win. But I'm saying that I feel that Rashad Evans is going to win, and here's why. There's a lot of reasons. I feel like, you know, the people who know this matchup better than anybody are Rashad and Jon Jones. And Rashad seems very confident. You know, I mean, it seems like he knows what's going on right there. That's number one. Number two, I feel like he is just more motivated. I feel like Rashad wants it more and maybe even needs this win more, in my personal opinion. First of all, my personal opinion only, not legendary facts, not casting spurs, all for entertainment purpose only. Please check disclaimers. Now, the other thing here, the biggest thing for me is this. I wasn't in, well, a couple things, but let me set it up first. I'll tell you the biggest thing here. I wasn't as impressed with Jon Jones in his last outing. Okay, I felt like he didn't look as dynamic. I felt like he, in my personal opinion, was, you know, I questioned, was he getting a little tired? I wasn't as impressed. Conversely, I was extremely impressed by Rashad Evans' last outing and how he just easily handled Phil Davis. I mean, Phil Davis, that was just like, you know, beating all kinds of people, had, you know, tremendous wrestling background, you know, physical skills, all kinds of stuff. And Rashad just outworked him, out-hustled him, and just dominated from, I mean, showed so many different angles in that fight. So I feel like, you know, that people are sleeping on Rashad Evans, in my personal opinion. I feel like Rashad Evans has the better hands, you know, at better boxing, stuff like that. I think Rashad may have the better wrestling, and I just feel like, you know, Rashad knows how to win and finds ways to win. He's only had one loss against Machida, where Machida was beating all kinds of people. And so Rashad understands how to win. I feel like, you know, let me put it another way. To me, the biggest thing is if Jon Jones can't determine where the fight takes place, if Rashad is able to determine where the fight takes place, or at least there's some neutrality there, then I think that Jon Jones may have some issues there. In other words, Jon Jones, in my personal opinion, most easily wins the fight if the fight is at range and he's able to use his, you know, physical abilities and range striking to win the match. I don't feel like this is going to be a situation where Jon Jones is going to go in there and use wrestling to dominate Rashad. I don't feel like that's going to happen. But I can see it happening the other way. And I feel like, you know, if Rashad is able to do things and be where he wants to be, at least, you know, half the time, then I think it could be a very interesting situation, particularly over 5 rounds. I just feel like, you know, at the end of the day, Rashad is going to be busier, and he's going to be able to use a range of skill sets in his wrestling and the hands to determine this fight. And I feel like if it doesn't go a certain way relatively early for Jones, does Jones get frustrated? It's going to be very interesting. So that's kind of the way I feel about it. And at the same time, you know, who did Rashad lose to and who was Rashad in trouble with? Rashad lost to, you know, Machida, who had tremendous striking, you know, power and ability, and this, you know, style that was very unique in my personal opinion, but definitely had that KO power. Same thing, he was in a little bit of trouble there against, you know, Rampage. Rampage has a lot of power, but at the same time, like, you know, does Jones have that real one punch or one strike knockout power? I don't know that I'm, you know, that convinced of that, number one. Number two, you know, have we seen Jon Jones' chin really tested? Number one. Number two, have we seen Jon Jones, you know, on his back, you know, and having someone who is getting the advantage on a wrestling standpoint, getting an advantage on the ground, you know, game standpoint? I don't think we've seen those two things. I don't think we know how Jon Jones is going to react. So, you know, I think there's a lot of things here that points to Rashad having some opportunities and things possibly being different for Jon Jones. Clearly, you know, John Jones has a lot of advantages, but when you add it all up and based upon their last performances and based upon the experience and the skill sets and the fact that they've trained together, I feel that Rashad Evans is going to find a way to win this fight. What do you think about that? You tell me what's up. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe up. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion and the MMA expert. Please rate this video up. Also, please post it to your social networking sites. You're watching Conservative Media. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.